Hi, Hayden Darrington here, just doing your virtual tour of a Hilux Rugged X. The Rugged X was only recently introduced to the Toyota Hilux range. It is now currently the top of the range model, superseding the SR5. The great thing about the Rugged X is it's currently spec'd up to a level where you have to do very minimal modifications to make it an all-rounder slash off-roader. If you notice, the front end runs a full steel hoopless bar on it. The great thing about this is it's obviously great for protection, but also doesn't take away from the fact that it's a standard vehicle. Also got the red tow points or recovery points, whatever wording you'd like to call them. They are rated to 8,000 kgs each one. There is 4 in total, 2 in the rear, 2 at the front. You also run, as you can see, the Toyota plate underneath it. It is not so much a bash plate, but just a protection guard there. You also come around the sides. We run different alloys on the car compared to your standard Hiluxes. These alloys are also shared with the Rugged as well, being the model below this one. As you come around from the alloys, you then go into the steel, what we call rock rails slash side rails. They are all fully painted black steel. You've also got the side skirtings. The thing that I love most about the Hilux itself is all the black trimmings on it. So Toyota's gone to the point and the extent of changing the badging. Obviously you can see the sticker on the bonnet in order to give you that more rugged feel. You've got the side skirts on it for aesthetics. The Hilux badge just focuses on the Hilux instead of the D4D. Black door handles as well throughout the vehicle. It's all blacked out around the guards. New sports bar. Now the sports bar is actually rated to 200 kilos. You can see where it's mounted all the way into the tub now with extra reinforcements there. So really cool. I suppose if you ever have or into motorbiking, you can run the tyres right up against this rail, and you got nice points there to ratchet through to secure loads and anything like that. Also you can see the tow hooks in the back as well. Also got locking tailgate, so this locks on the car. Also soft falling tailgate, so you'll never see these big slams. Obviously it's nice and heavy, so when you drop it, it's nice and easy that way. One of the little things, or the 1%ers that Toyota do to kind of, you know, get longevity out of a vehicle. From our TRD models, we also do the black skirting around the rear tail lights on the car, so that's pretty nice as well for aesthetics. As you can see there, that's a rear steel bar. So it's superseded the chrome-like one off the SR5, but been painted black, a bit different in styling. You've got the 8,000 kg recovery points on it as well. Obviously you've got the nice Rugged X badging there. We'll come around to the back. Seating wise, obviously nothing's changed too much other than the fact that you get the standard leather in here. Another great thing about the Hilux is rear aircon vents, especially in our lovely summers, because they're not too shy to us up here in far north Queensland. Just the little things, but black roof as well inside the car, where most of the SR5s, well the SR5s do and below, run a cream roof. So it all kind of blends a lot nicer when it's fully black. All the trimmings you can see has got the black on it as well. Even around these rear aircon vents you can see the black on it. So there's all that on the car as well. It is keyless entry and push button start. So this little key, this little button you can sort of see here, without actually taking the key out of your pocket, you can unlock and lock the car by using that button. Inside the car, I'll just turn this radio off here, but you do run full satellite navigation. So the great thing about the sat nav in the Toyotas, it's just really user friendly. So to set up a destination, it's just a matter of hitting menu, hitting destination. If you go to the airport, then you just use points of interest and basically go to the airport. But you got restaurants, accommodation around here. So if you're new to an area or haven't been there before and you go, look, I'm chasing a restaurant for dinner, you just hit restaurant. It'll come up with the closest ones that are around, and then basically it'll take you there and you can go straight into the sat nav through points of interest. So you necessarily don't need an address with this sat nav system, you just need a point that it can refer to. The great thing about this as well, in Toyota do a thing called Toyota Link. Now I can't show you because I haven't got the phone connected up to it, but I can tell you about them. So Toyota Link goes anywhere from destination downloader through to travel times. Your destination downloader, what happens is the app we download on your phone will basically give you a GPS on it. So if you're going somewhere the next day to multiple places, that night what you can do is pop all of the addresses through the app, hit send the car on each one. When you jump into the car and your phone connects automatically to Bluetooth, all those addresses will be automatically populated and popped into the destination downloader file. Once it's in that file, you can just tap on it, puts it straight in the sat nav. Once you're done with that address, you then delete it, then on to the next one, and so on until you've finished it all. You then got your local search. So that will actually, if you haven't been to some place before, so if you're going away for a holiday, you're currently sitting somewhere, you decided, I don't know, looking for a pizza shop for the night, you can hit local search, type in pizza, it'll come up with all the closest pizza shops, their phone numbers, so you can contact them, and it puts their address straight in the sat nav. So there's no excuse, you don't have to get your phone out, it's all done that way. You then go across to fuel finder. So I suppose we all know at the moment fuel prices are quite high, so this way you can save a couple of cents, or I suppose it's just peace of mind knowing you're getting the best deal, is it'll actually come up with all the closest fuel stations and how much it is. So I did one recently, it was actually 6 cents cheaper a litre for me to travel an extra 500 meters, so really good in that sense. You've got also a weather setting, so it gives you a detailed forecast of the current day. Then it gives you a 7-day outline of what's coming, and then if you're doing a long trip, see some dark clouds, you can actually pull over and use the live bomb weather radar on it. It does 128 range and 256 kilometer range on the bomb weather radar, but that way you can just check if there's any hail in it or whether it's a serious storm, should we wait, stuff like that. Toyota Help, if you get the Toyota Roadside Assist with the package, what you can do is actually link it to the car. So the car actually breaks down, it will send the details to the phone. If not, then you can get it all through the app just there. Travel times, because you've got sat nav, it's probably not so beneficial in this model, but it is for cars without sat nav. Look, another nifty little thing that Toyota do is with Bluetooth. So with the phones, you can actually go into the screen and it'll actually read out your text messages to you. So if you send a text message or you receive a text message, you'll say, do you want it read out from da-da-da-da? You'll then click yes, and the car in its robot voice will read it out to you. If it's something that's like an emergency or it's something you need to reply pretty quickly, then all you do on the screen is hit call or instant reply, and it has populated messages that will reply to the person and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Another little nifty thing for Toyota is with the touchscreen, here, is it's actually a reverse camera. So as you can see there, obviously it says check surroundings. I still rely on my mirrors, but for a good reference, if you're towing or anything, you can basically back up to the trailer and see it all on your own without having to rely on a spotter. It does take a little bit of getting used to. Down here, you can run your full climate control settings. So everyone loves AC in the summer months, so that's brilliant there. You've also got seat heaters, so if you're doing the long trips, it's really good to have that low setting of heat coming through your back. It just keeps the muscles less tense. Everyone usually goes, oh, who needs seat heaters in cans? Well, it's actually quite a benefit if you get sore back or get quite stiff while driving. That sort of eliminates that. 2 power supplies up here as well. So it's pretty cool. USB connectivity and auxiliary, so it's really compatible with phones. And with the full drive system, there's not many models on the market today that can go between H2 to H4 up to 70 kilometers an hour. Like, you could be traveling along the beach, 70 k's an hour, and go, oh, I've hit a soft part, quickly switch it over into H4, and you don't have to worry about traction. Low range is a bit different, so it's just a matter of basically putting it into neutral, hitting the push like it says, and going around to low 4. But the benefit of going into low range and doing those sort of rock climbs or river crossings, stuff like that, is you can then use your rear diff lock and downhill assist control. So that's all in there, which is quite nice, quite a nice setting. Now, this is probably one of the best cars for a power mode button. So Toyota don't give you the initial power in standard mode, but you pop it into power mode, you notice a very big difference in acceleration. All my customers that I take for a test drive, my guests, they come back to me and they go, geez, that power mode makes a difference. So if you haven't driven one before with it on and off, let me know and we can organise that for you. Inside your center console here, we run what we call a 100-watt inverter. So it's a full inverter system built into the car. This also runs through our 200 series and Land Cruiser Prado models, but all inside the vehicle, which is nice and nifty. Hilux as well. They've put another little Hilux badging on there, so just attention to detail for Toyota. But in this little compartment, there's a little aircon vent on the side. So depending what temperature this runs at, is what you can have in this actual container here. So if you're going on a long trip and you're running the aircon at 20 degrees, and obviously this will be nice and cool at 20 degrees, so you can put your water bottles in there, or any drinks for that matter, or if you've got some lunch for the day, and you know, it's just another way of keeping things cool. Now they say the small things count. Look, there's nothing better, in my opinion, than having cup holders right here. They're easy and accessible. The aircon's blowing onto them to keep them cool. If you want to use it as a storage container, you can push it back. And that way it's just a little container in there. Now for your long trips, if you don't like sharing lollies, you can also hide them in there, and that way your passengers won't have to steal them off you. Push button start, so nice and easy. It's just a matter of popping the foot on the brake, pressing the start button, and away you go. Now down here, you've also run a idle up button, and you also see the light button there for the LED light bar on the front of these cars. So that's all that there. This is a Rugged X, so it runs the 2.8 litre 4-cylinder diesel. Now it runs 450 Newton meters in the automatic transmissions. A lot of people go, oh, that's not a lot of power. Well, to be honest, it's the exact same Newton meters of torque that our single turbo V8 Cruiser Utes put out. So when you think about it, 450 Newton meters out of a single turbo V8 and a 4-cylinder, obviously the Hilux runs a lot lighter, so you're actually getting a lot more power to weight ratio. In the front of here, you get a multi-information display, so you can go back through the car. You can basically go through your fuel consumption on there. You then go down to your driving range until empty. So this one's running, it's just above half a tank, and it says we've still got 333 Ks. Look, you usually get anywhere between that 720 to 780. Sometimes I've seen them go to 800 if you're doing a lot of highway driving. So that's pretty nice there. I did tow a caravan with one of these. It did weigh 3 tonne, and fuel consumption stayed anywhere between that 16 to 21 litres per 100k. To be honest, I was pushing it pretty hard just so I could see the power and what it could do up hills. So I don't know if that's a true and accurate reading to go off because of my lead footness there, but it did pretty well in my opinion. I was quite impressed. Like I said, driving range on there, eco indicator, so it scores you out of 100 how well you're driving to the car's optimal performance. You then go down to how much you're saving, so it sets an average of 10 litres per 100k. So every time you get under that, it'll give you a dollar value on how much money you're saving. Compass, now if you're actually got a sat-nav destination set, it'll actually on this screen give you directions as well and how many kilometres until the turn. And then you've got your radio as well on there. So that's all standard on the car. None of this is extras. If it was, I would let you know, like the bonnet protector. Up on the roof, you've got your standard sunglass holder in there as well. You've got your standard lighting. Same with the rear, you can set it all to the door settings. So when you jump in the car, it's all nice and set up. Rear seat belts, so you can check on the kids and go, hey, what's going on, kids? You haven't got your seat belts on, so you can monitor that. Will actually beep consistently until they're put on. So everyone should have their seat belt on. You've also got folding in mirrors. They don't automatically do it unless you press this button, and then you see they fold in. So if you're doing any off-roading and you've got some really tight spots to get through, you don't have to get out of the car to fold the mirrors in. You can do all that nicely through there. On the steering wheel controls, you've got voice activation on there. So I'll actually give it a whirl and show you what it's like. So you can press this button.
What would you like to do?
Turn off audio.
Turning off audio.
And yeah, it also gives you other prompts on there, like you know, call John Smith and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, if anyone's got an iPhone, it's kind of like Siri or Google Voice, whatever they are on the Android phones. But obviously Toyota have their own version. Cruise control standard on here. It's your standard stick version, so Toyota's run with this for a while, so anyone who's had a Toyota usually has seen this system. As well as that, you run a auto headlight system on it as well. Look, I just want to say thank you all for tuning in. I will give you one last look around the car at the ending, just to get the aesthetics of it. Snorkel standard, that's not an accessory. Like I said, the only accessory on the exterior of this is the bonnet protector. But all-rounder comes in a wide variety of colours. I might actually go to the brochure and show you the actual colour options on it. But as you can see, that is our Rugged X Hilux, top of the range. Any questions you have, do give me a call on 0410 839 933. I'm Hayden Darrington from Pacific Toyota Cairns. And yeah, I look forward to any questions that you have that I can answer.